is cooking on the stove. I'm gonna take care of all these dirty dishes and unload the dishwasher. Oatmeal is done. Just have cinnamon, blueberries, and some maple syrup. Didn't quite finish the dishes, but I did all of that. We need to take this recycling out without making my coffee. That's so weird that I forgot, but coffee time. It's 9:09. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, drink my coffee, and it's on Southern Time right now, but I think I'm gonna watch a little YouTube. Say hi! Also, I bought these at TJ Maxx yesterday, and I don't even want to tell you how much of the bag we've eaten. These are so good for no reason. I didn't even end up watching anything. I went back through all of my Instagram stories because I knew at one point I had posted this and I wanted to go back to that article today. So we're always thinking, even when we're not writing.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. Good morning and welcome to another vlog. It's gonna be a day in my life. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a PhD student in English and I won't be able to say that for much longer. Soon I'll be introducing myself as a professor, which is really wild. But thank you so much for watching this video. If it's your first one, I would love if you would subscribe and follow along with the end of my journey of grad school at the beginning of my journey as a professor. And if it's not your first time here, welcome back. Thanks for joining. So quite honestly, I planned on waking up much earlier than I did today. But unfortunately I woke up at 5 a.m. and was just up for like an hour and a half and didn't feel like up enough to get up, but was like up and needed to go back to sleep. So I let myself sleep until 8:30, so it's been a bit of a slower morning. It is 10:05 right now and I'm finally ready. I'm gonna go head over to a coffee shop to get some work done. I hope you can't hear the yard work that's going on right outside my window. I might have to mess around with the editing on this, so that's not too rough. We're in that part of spring where one day it's hot and one day it's cold, so I'm wearing a long sleeve today, but I really like the neckline on this one. I think it's just like a fun, you could like put it like off the shoulders a little bit more, and it's also just like really comfy, and I've been loving the shade of blue. I do think I'm gonna throw on a really fun little charm necklace with it though. Okay, there we go. Added this little charm necklace, which is so fun. Has a little bow, some cherries, a butterfly. I feel like charm necklaces are so in right now and I'm just obsessed with them. So this one is from Luisa, which if you watch my videos is not surprising. All the jewelry I ever wear is from Luisa, and this segment of the video is actually sponsored by Luisa, so thank you so much for gifting me some beautiful pieces. I can't wait to show you guys. So they're actually having their Mother's Day sale right now, and I think Luisa makes the perfect gift, especially for moms. So they have the most beautiful dainty pieces. These earrings, actually both sets that I'm wearing right now, these gold ones and then these little gold hearts right here, are also Luisa. And all their pieces just go with everything. They're perfect for everyday wear. They just like spice up an outfit, take it to the next level, elevate it. And their pieces are actually really affordable. They start at $39 and they have free and fast shipping in the US. Their pieces are also just built to last. Like, I have been wearing some of my Luisa pieces for almost 5 years now and there's no signs of rust or tarnish. And I shower in them and I wear them to Orange Theory classes. I've worn some of them like in the ocean, on the beach. They have a 2-year warranty as well. So truly the perfect gift for your mom or for any moms in your life that you want to celebrate for Mother's Day. I'm thinking of getting a piece that says mama for my sister-in-law, who is the mother of my 2 most beautiful nephews in the world. So this necklace is one of the pieces that they gifted me, as I mentioned. And then these 2 earrings I think would make a perfect gift. I wear them every day. They're also just like really comfortable. I know a lot of our moms are just really busy, on the go, and they can't be bothered with earrings that are gonna like drag them down or that they have to take out before they go to bed every night. I sleep with everything on and I don't even notice it.
And then I got another pair of earrings that I'm really excited for because they're like perfect for Greece. I showed you guys another pair like a month ago that had like this blue and white marble look. And now I got a bigger, chunkier one that I think are so exciting. And I've seen a lot of like girls going to Europe with their mom this summer. Like a lot of TikToks where girls are talking about they're taking just like a mother-daughter trip. So what a great Mother's Day gift if you're one of those lucky daughters. Okay, look at these. I'm obsessed with them and I can already picture all the million different outfits I'm gonna wear them with. Okay, I'm gonna put these little ones back in just to wear for the day because I want to wear this necklace and just want like a smaller earring with it. So here's a look. If you want to check out any of these pieces from Ana Luisa, I have the link in my description box to shop their Mother's Day sale. And I truly think they make the perfect gift and they stand the test of time, and you and your mom will be so excited to wear these. You should get like a matching pair, one for you, one for mom, you know? And while I'm at it, I'll show you guys the full fit. So this blue top like I showed you guys, and then these white pants that I think are so fun. They're just like, I don't even know how to describe them, like baggy cargo pants, I guess. They're really long, so I do roll them up, and then I'm wearing my Croc platform sandals. I thrifted these from Style Encore, and the top is from TJ Maxx, of course, because that's like the only place I shop these days. But it's time. I am going to finally, it feels like it's been a very long and slow morning. It's 10:20. I think I'm gonna go to Verona Coffee. I haven't been there in a while, and work on the second chapter of my dissertation. So this is the chapter where I am working on case studies of different influencers and talking about how they're using different varieties of self-censorship and self-disclosure to show how they're hyper-aware of their bodies and hyper-aware of their audiences in sort of a phenomenon that I've deemed embodied hyper-awareness. And it's a lot of just like rhetorical analysis of their videos, but it's also rhetorical analysis of ancillary discourse. So the comments on their videos, as well as a lot of different Reddit threads. And I've had a lot of like mixed feelings about bringing in Reddit threads. So based on the methodology that I'm using for my rhetorical analysis, I think that it sort of necessitates it, and I think that it really bolsters my analysis. But I just have like concerns about ethical dimensions of it. So these Reddit threads are public places. It's not like it's a private Facebook group or anything like that. And so I know that like legally it's allowed, and like academic discourse it's allowed, and it's like Reddit is like relatively anonymous. I'm just like more so worried about really calling attention to negative comments, because a lot of these Reddit pages are like gossip and snark, and just worrying like, is that something that I really want to bring into my discourse? Like, do I want to call more attention to this like vitriol that is said about like these really smart and creative influencers that I'm analyzing? So I mean, I've already done it and I feel like I've been really judicious about which comments I bring in and what I say about them, and thinking with care and compassion has been like at the forefront of my mind. But I also think I'm going to go back in right now and add in some more just like foregrounding with the article that I mentioned that I was looking back through my Instagram stories to find about like the value of snark, which is so wild. I never thought I'd be here, but talking about like why it's important to look at it and what it's contributing to like social and cultural conversations. And I think I could maybe add in a little bit more like meta discourse and sort of just like signposting about the strategies that I'm taking to just like operate and analyze and write with care. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I'm choosing these influencers are because I think that they produce really interesting content and are really skilled at their jobs and are really good examples of demonstrating rhetorical awareness. So my hope is that if anyone reads this chapter, they'd come away with sort of like a newfound appreciation for these influencers. I'm not like bringing them into my diss to like drag them. I would never do that. It's quite the opposite. So I think I just need to like go through and make that abundantly clear. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I have 2.5, well, really I have 3 more sections that I have to do. And then it's just the conclusion of finishing up the intro, and we're done with the entire dissertation. That's where we're at. I'm hoping I can add in all of that like meta commentary in the beginning and then get through one of those 3 sections today. That's the goal. I got a pistachio latte, some water. I'm sitting outside because the weather is so pretty. Let's get to work. Okay, it is 1:45. I finished that little work stint and I wrote down some specifics because I wanted to give details of how much I wrote and when I was doing the writing and everything like that. This was like the only notebook I had with me. Because if I was home, I would have like taken breaks and like vlogged like, okay, here's how much I got done at this point, here's how much I got done at this point. So I started work at like 10:30, maybe like 10:45 by the time I like sat down and got my coffee and stuff. In the first hour, by 11:45, I finished reading back through that article. It's pretty short, it's only like 8 pages. And I wrote 407 new words. Started just like explaining the article and using it to sort of like justify why I'm incorporating snark. Which is, snark is just a funny word, you know? And then I really had to dive so deep and lock in so hard and muster every ounce of strength I had to do what is called the strategic contemplation section of my case study on Jenna Hong. And by 1:33, I had written 722 new words. And that means that section is done. I just felt like it was getting like really off topic because the whole point of the case study, as I mentioned, is to show how these vloggers are using rhetorical acts of self-censorship and self-disclosure to show that they're experiencing what I call like an a priori sense of embodied hyper-awareness. It is the sense that they are hyper-aware of themselves and their imaginations of how others are perceiving them that is informing and that is like impacting their decision of what and how to censor certain content and to disclose other content in like rhetorical ways. And so in my case study of Jenna Hong, in bringing in some of these snark threads and analyzing some of her videos, I felt like I started to like really stray and go into ideas of authenticity and relatability. And they're really interesting and they're really, I think, noteworthy. I just didn't know how to bring them back to embodied hyper-awareness. So I really had to sit and I really had to think, and I feel like I found ways to do it. I tried to just like write myself some basic free writing prompts and just like let myself spew ideas. And I think I was just coming back to the idea that like it's a paradox or it's this sort of tension. Because in my own vlog, so in the vlogs that I watch, I prefer to watch creators who I deem as authentic. And a lot of people feel this way according to Reddit, and I would venture that a lot of you all want to watch people who are authentic. But also, like, what does authenticity mean? It means something different to everyone. So I went back to the way that Jenna Hong defines authenticity, and for her, it's like not being like overly curated is the language she uses. So in my own vlogs, whether I'm like consciously aware of it or not, I also try and come across as authentic. And what that means for me is I don't do anything just for my vlogs. I capture my life as I am living it normally. I would like to think my life is the same, sort of like on and off camera for the most part. Like I would have still gotten ready today, would have still come to Verona, even if I wasn't vlogging. But it sort of makes me feel like their intention or their butting heads, like, can you actually have true authenticity where things are not overly curated if you are also experiencing embodied hyper-awareness? If you're hyper-aware of yourself and your anticipation and your imaginations of how your audience is going to perceive you, is it ever possible to have like unmediated authenticity? And so I just sort of like broach that question and leave it there in my section of strategic contemplation because the chapter is almost 50 pages. And that's also something why I feel like, I don't know, this chapter, just like the diss as a whole isn't great. I don't know, as I mentioned in my last vlog, it helps that Megan says she's feeling similar feelings. A lot of comments from you all in previous vlogs have said that you also struggle with like insecurity about your writing and your research. I think especially when like building a theory, because it's like so subjective and there's no way to like definitively say like, this is correct, I did this experiment, I measured these things. So I don't feel confident in my work, but I feel excited about where it's gonna go. Okay, done yapping. Time to go home. Megan just gave me devastating news. I'm supposed to go to Orange Theory in a couple hours, and she told me
I found something out about today's class. My intuition told me not to go, I can't lie. There's a 14-minute row block. So if you love yourself, you won't do that.
I really wanted to go to Orange Theory today. It's been like a week since I've been because I was in Nashville over the weekend and then I was really sunburned. But 14-minute row is horrible. The rower is the worst part of Orange Theory, and 14 minutes is going to feel like an eternity. Megan said it'll hurt my back. So she told me I could go on like the bike or the Strider instead, or I could just like drop the class. So I don't know what to do.
Bike or stride, do it. You can do it.
I'm gonna see what the rest of the class entails. I need to eat something though because I'm hungry. That put me in a bad mood, I can't lie. But not as bad of a mood as I would be in if I got into Orange Theory and they said 14-minute row.
Exactly. I was like, I would want to know, so I have to tell her.
Update, I canceled the class even though it like still counts as me using one of my classes. It's fine because I didn't go last week. And I switched to a tread class, which you just walk on the treadmill the whole time. It's at 7 p.m. tonight, which isn't ideal, but anything is more ideal than a 14-minute row block. So Megan, once again, per usual, is a real one because she told me to get out of that. Leftover pasta for lunch. An Olipop version of a Dr. Pepper. Can't wait to eat this banana bread that Megan made. And I bullied her into stopping work because we're gonna watch Southern Charm.
You didn't bully, to be clear.
I can't wait. Okay, 2 episodes of Southern Charm down with Megan, and I'm going to read my book for fun. Today has given me quite a bit of downtime, which is really nice. Part of this is because I'm on fellowship, so I'm not teaching or working a job for like a graduate student assistantship. My only job is to write. And at this point in my dissertation, where, to quote Megan, my brain is a little cooked. By a little, I mean a lot. I just feel like really brain fried. I don't push myself to do more than like 4 hours of deep thinking max. So while I have time and I could, I guess, like time-wise do more, anything that I would have to say would end up having to be rewritten and wouldn't be good. Sometimes in the late afternoon / evening, I will try and shift to do like a different type of writing. Like I have 2 more instances of like creative writing that I still have to do. I just start each of my dissertation chapters with a sort of like anecdote that is based on my own personal experience being a vlogger, but that sort of like sets the stage for what the chapter is going to be about. And I started writing one of them for chapter 3 and I still have to write the one for chapter 4, but that just requires me to be in like a different headspace. So maybe I'll feel in that headspace after Orange Theory tonight. Who knows? Maybe not. I have some time. If I'm not, it's okay. And sometimes also what I do is I will edit a vlog, but I don't have a vlog to edit. So it's just reading for now. For fun. Okay, I have about 45 minutes before I have to leave to Orange Theory. I read a little bit of my book and then I FaceTimed some of my siblings. I mailed a pair of Crocs or two pairs of Crocs to my nephews, and they got the package and they wanted to show me. It was so cute. And then I FaceTimed my sisters for a little bit as they're driving over to a book club that they have, so that was fun. And I was like, what are you guys gonna do? Is it like reading, because I've never been part of a book club, but I was like, is it like reading discussions, like, and they were like, I don't know, this is our first meeting, I'm nervous. And I was like, sounds like you're signed up to go to grad school. So that was funny. But I'm feeling a little of that tingly urge like I talked about, where I want to get some creative juices flowing. So I might try and write one of those opening anecdotes. Or at least try. Sit down and try for about half an hour or so. Okay, so I think to get into this, I might read the opening anecdotes that I have for chapter 1 and chapter 2. I don't know, that'll be fun. I read some of my intro on here, and that was like really helpful for me, just to read it out loud and to have it to like listen back to, and to have, of course, your all's feedback on it. So this is what I mean by opening anecdotes. So for chapter 1, this is sort of like my literature review of my dissertation, and this is when I'm introducing all of my key concepts, introducing the idea of embodied hyper-awareness, introducing the larger framework that I'm building of embodied multimodal composition, and gesturing towards like vlogs as something that should be like theorized and studied as a form of writing. So here is the anecdote. And these are like the first words of my diss besides my intro. I pick up my digital camera, press the power button, and flip the screen upwards so that I can see the footage as it's being captured. I set the camera down on a flat surface, instinctually locate the red record button, and give it a familiar push. With the red dot and the abbreviation REC now appearing on the screen in front of me, I take a couple steps back so the frame captures me from just above the top of my head to the bottom of my torso. I take a pause and a breath. I smile and with a sing-songy voice say good morning and welcome or welcome back to another vlog. My name is Sarah and I'm a PhD student at IU, and I study English, specifically rhetoric and composition. I'm going to take you guys along for a few days of my life. I press the record button once more to end the clip, and then I immediately tap the playback button to watch the new recording. As I see myself, my body, on the small screen in front of me, I imagine what others might think. Is this angle flattering? Is my messy room in the background distracting? More meaningfully, I wonder, what will they assume based on my whiteness, my femininity? As a woman, I am always aware of my body, how much space it's occupying, how close it is to others' bodies, if it's safe. But viewing my body through this small screen, while knowing a future audience will eventually view it too, pushes this awareness a step further. When I vlog, I am hyper aware of my body and embodiment. After I watch the clip back, I adjust the framing, set the camera down once more, I hit record, back up, pause, breathe, and start again. And then I dive in to the sort of scholarship part of the diss. Reading your own writing out loud is like really humbling. And here's the opening anecdote for chapter 2. So chapter 2 is what I've been working on today and for the past couple days, and as I mentioned, this is like the case study vlogs where I'm really like unpacking the idea of embodied hyper-awareness. And here is this opening anecdote. After experiencing trauma inflicted on my body, one of my body's responses was hypervigilance. According to the Encyclopedia of Personality and Individual Differences, hypervigilance is, quote, a state or condition where sensitivity to environmental stimuli is heightened, often to an excessive degree and in an attempt to detect potential threats, end quote. Every time I walked outside, my eyes incessantly scanned my surroundings. My ears were on high alert for any suspicious sounds. My whole body was poised to detect an attack before it happened this time. After several months of this hypervigilance, leaving the safety of my home felt like a feat I no longer had the energy to face. This hypervigilance ultimately became paralyzing. After I began vlogging a few years later, I noticed a similar kind of phenomenon. However, whereas I was once hypervigilant of everything around me, I was now hyper-aware of myself, of my body. For brief, poignant moments, when I saw myself reflected back to me on the screen of my vlogging camera, I experienced a heightened awareness of my body. Moments that I can only describe as a kind of phenomenon of the sublime, gestured to for centuries by rhetoricians, artists, and philosophers. More intense and more disorienting than the awareness I experienced when looking at myself in a mirror, these temporal moments of hyper-awareness while vlogging led me to be hyper-aware of my body, as I imagined how my audience might perceive my body. And above all, these moments of embodied hyper-awareness did not feel paralyzing. They felt productive. Okay, 20 minutes later, and I think I like what I wrote. I feel like the way writing works is you just like always have ideas percolating in the back of your brain, just like marinating, simmering. And I've been thinking about the metaphor of a funhouse mirror a lot lately. Honestly, ever since my brother told me that he took my nephews to the fair in Miami. And I remember I was like super scared and like sick on rides, but I loved going into like those fun houses. And I loved like the mirror mazes and getting to like this one specific fun house that had like these silly mirrors at the top. And that like metaphor just like really stuck in my mind for like what I'm talking about in the 3rd chapter of my dissertation, where I talk about like the strangeness and the defamiliarization of vlogging, where you see yourself as subject and object, but you see like different versions of yourself. And so I don't love like all the writing. I need to go in and tweak it, but basically I use that metaphor and I say something along the lines of, as I'm editing this footage and making these choices, I'm viewing a past version of myself that was captured by a camera and is now transferred to a computer screen. With these layers of mediation, it often feels like I'm looking at myself through a funhouse mirror. The self I'm familiar with is present, but she's also distorted. Through this funhouse mirror of vlogging, I see different versions of myself that are strange and defamiliarized. I see myself as both a subject and a multi-mediated object. We'll take that as a win. Writing is so weird. It's 6:30. I gotta take my makeup off so it doesn't get all like fused in with my sweat in this try class. Okay, my shoes are downstairs, so I'll put those on down there, but let's go have a good workout that I feel like I've been waiting all day for. Workout is done. I got 13 splat points, and I found out that I can upgrade my membership to unlimited classes for like $20 more a month. So I think I will be doing that. And I was like, but like, what if I'm moving? And she said it'll stay with me. So that's really exciting because I'm really loving Orange Theory and I want to be able to do it as much as possible in the summer, especially. So gonna shower and then get cooking some tacos for dinner. It's already 8 o'clock, but when it's like still light outside in like the spring and summer months, 8 o'clock feels like 6 p.m. Purr, you want to be in the vlog? What do you want? You want dinner? That's the least I could do. I could give you some dinner. Purr, look at all your toys. You want your laser? This was the best $10 purchase from Aldi we've ever made. Like, she's gone through it. We've already had to replace the batteries. Here's our din, and then made some queso, some chips, and we're gonna watch more Southern Charm.
Southern Charm.
Rockers represent.
Oh yeah, rockers represent.
That's Megan's undergrad, where I have to tell everyone she double majored in English and philosophy.
You're so rude for that.
You probably can't see that. 10:15. I'm gonna get in bed, but first I'm checking off my habit tracker. I wrote a lot for the test this month. Orange Theory, 7 hours of sleep. Sort of slacked. Didn't do PT, not once. So we'll get on that next month. 3 no spend days this month. And I checked off my mood tracker. Today's the 30th. Today was a good day. Happy. That I have my laptop charging because I have to be on campus at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have something that I'm thinking about wearing in the morning so I don't have to think about it. Those jeans, maybe those sandals or something. And now I'm gonna brush my teeth and get in bed. Okay, time for some turn down service. This, you know, just goes on top of all that junk there. We take out the weighted blanket. I feel like once you start sleeping with a weighted blanket, you can't go back. It's the best and the worst thing, like starting to drink coffee. I had Orange Theory today. Someone had a little mini one of these on their bag and it was so cute. pillows. Feels like I'm like unwrapping my bed, but I love that feeling. Then we'll get the hatch lamp going, put in the Invisalign, read my book until I fall asleep. So if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. And this is another reminder to check out the link in my description box for Anna Luisa's Mother's Day sale. Get something for your mom, get something for yourself, get something for the both of you guys. And to subscribe if you're not already, leave a comment because I try and respond to all of them. And just again, thank you all so much for watching. Truly the best. I will see you in the next one.